Hello and welcome to part 21 of our Dominion 6 guide for new players. In this part we're going to continue our war with Bandar Log, hopefully knock them out and then bring the fight over to Abyssia proper. So in the last turn we had a bunch of battles. We had a pretty big battle at Bethine where we managed to take that fortress there, as well as a big battle versus Abyssia. We have also managed to breach the fortification of Bandar Log, which is excellent. So we're going to get Gunderic, who seems to be our right-hand man for doing this. He is actually going to storm the castle by himself, and we're going to get everybody else to sit there, and they're going to either preach, or they're going to just keep sieging the castle to make sure they don't repair. So we'll select everybody that we can, who isn't Gunderic, and everybody who can is going to preach. And that should help us quite a lot. Hopefully reduce the Dominion. We can see their Dominion strength is only now 2 in the province of Bandar Log. Ursnek is becoming a bit more of a force. We'll have to see if their god's waking up. If they haven't, then there is a chance that they will wake up on the turn that we actually attack, which could be quite scary. So we'll have to deal with that when that happens. We're going to send a bunch of our scouts. We're going to send them over to Sumner Edge and head them down into the gateway here so that they end up down underneath. Otherwise, we're sending a bunch of our troops up towards Bandar Log. We're going to have a lot of reinforcements that are coming. And we also have Grimold and Albrecht and Elkborn, who are all going to get there. Grimold can actually make it next turn, so I think what he'll do is he'll actually grab off a few of these guys here, just their fires in a jar. They've only got the one. We don't need the bag of endless wine quite yet. Yeah, he'll grab one of their girdles of might as well. And we'll give that to him, just so he can pass out a few more of our mages, as well as start casting some stuff. As we can see, our treasury is getting hit quite hard from the Throne of the Night. The fact that it's thrown everything into darkness has massively reduced our income all across the land. Even Ulm's only getting an income of 421. And also, I didn't quite cover it last episode, but we've managed to get another one of our mythical heroes, who is Rhetoric the hero, who has recuperation. He's a skilled rider, he's got pretty decent stats, and he is riding us well on top of a unicorn, which is very, very nice. Surprisingly, it is stealthy, while he is not, which is a bit of a shame. But we can potentially kit him out with a little bit of gear. He has also got good leadership, so he might be very good for sending some of our troops down to Abyssia. As we can see, our recruitment is struggling just a little bit. But hopefully we'll be alright. We got another Astral Random. Wow, we have been very, very lucky with our Astral Random so far. Cannot complain about that at all. Arnulf's already grabbed everything he can. I'm not sure what we're going to do with Clovis. We'll come back to him in a second. We'll go through the rest of our commanders. Balthazar here. He's going to forge another one of these helmets for us. I'm only forging them one at a time just so I can keep an eye on how many I'm making. I don't want to have too many. I want to make sure I'm using it. We've got a few slave matrices actually, so we could potentially think about creating a master one and getting one of our mages to be able to cast some pretty good spells. Other than that, we're going to keep going around and searching for astral sites. We found a death site here, fantastic. We didn't find any nature sites. We'll just start searching Bandar Log as well. We're just going to try and search as much as we can. Here's our large force down in the underdepths. They don't have much left, but what we're going to do is we'll probably send half to the Mudwater Caves, and we'll send the other half over to the Undermounted. I'm just making sure that they're fairly even in terms of distribution. We might send Alaric over to the Mudwater Caves. Let's check our formations. So we've got our Bakemono guys. They're currently sneaking into the Mudwater Caves. We're not going to be using them to attack. Instead, we're going to keep sending them round. We want to try and get over to the Cavern Realm if we can, and the Chiliad Caverns, and cut them off so that Abyssia can't come out as. As far as Tobruk goes, let's see how long this fortification has left. 2 months. Okay, let's search here. Get another... we can't even recruit a champion. We don't have enough gold. So what we'll do instead is we'll start passing out a few of these quills. We've got an air random. Very nice. We potentially use him for some site searching down here. I don't think we've searched for air. In fact, we have not. So let's take that quill off of him, and we'll get him to start searching for a couple of air sites. Looks like Bandar Log has lost a little bit of territory to independence. So they have one piece of territory here in Azamar, and also just Bandar Log itself. So we have completely crushed Bandar Log in terms of their territory. If we take, say, Frithagern, and what we'll do is we'll chuck all the troops away from him, and we'll get him to just go take this province here, and then we'll send everybody else, bar one priestsmith. Frederick can stay at home. Lucky guy. what we're going to do is we're going to grab everybody here. We're going to set up so that they have all of the range guys together. We have all of our undisciplined guys together, and we'll grab these guys here. We're going to move these guys up towards, either towards Bandar Log or towards Abyssia. Probably Abyssia now, actually, seeing as there doesn't seem much left. We'll grab the rest of the troops that Lothar has. He doesn't have very much left, and he's not long for this world, unfortunately. So with that, I think we'll actually leave Lothar behind, and we'll get him. We can't build a temple, and we cannot build a lab. We just do not have the money. We'll keep him and Ruprick behind. We'll send everybody else starting to move back towards Summer Edge, and they're going to head down underneath the ground. Other than that, we're going to try and search this throne site here. This site will probably have some stuff in it. Is there any troops here to pick up? There is one undisciplined troop, so we'll grab him, put him in with the Bakemono. Yeah, that's still fine. Thorismund, he's diseased and very nearly dead. We can see he's got a bunch of afflictions here, but that's fine. We're choosing him for site searching. We've managed to collect a bunch of fire gems, which we will probably give out next turn. I don't really want them to be used if they try and sally out of Bandar Log at the moment, but it might be a good idea just to try and set them up. We'll sneak over our... In fact, no, we'll just get him to come over and cast. He won't really be able to cast anything that useful, but who knows, he might be able to do a little bit of something. We'll just leave him to just do his normal things, and we'll set these guys to guard, just in case there's any Abyssia shenanigans. As for our scout here, he can't make it over into Godhaven, so he's just going to start sneaking back. We've got another commander here who's picked up a bunch of the forces, and we'll start sending him over towards Felden. Actually, we'll send him over to Summer Edge. Instead, we'll search here for some more death sites. We've already searched here. Let's hit the Rid. Adelaide can't do anything. Formagist, he will pick up these sappers here for our use down in the caves. And other than that, we've just got this big siege blob here. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to start handing these out. We'll see how that goes. So we'll just select everybody who isn't storming the castle currently, and we'll just start divvying them up. Okay, so a little bit of a time skip there. I've just handed out a bunch of gems so I can show you what I've done. So we can see here that we've given a bunch of gems to Arnulf, a bunch of earth gems. We've also given some more earth gems to Hilderic. We've given some fire gems to Clodomir, and to the other Clodomir and Gunthermund. And Thorismund, who's coming over here as our Earth level 3, we've given him a couple of Earth gems, and we've also given some more to Alfred, and to Earthsnake we've given 5 as well. So we're going to have a little look and see what we can do in terms of our scripting for our guys. So we're going to get most of our commanders to just stay behind their troops. Thorismund will get up in a second. These Crushers, we're just going to set them to attack the closest. Basically, we just want these guys to be there to tank up as many archer hits as possible. And with their strength, they should be able to punch through, hopefully, their first front line. Other than that, what we want to do is we want to make sure that Alfred is here. He's summoning Earth Power, then he's using Phoenix Power. And then we've got a little bit of a question of what we're going to get him to do. So he will have a bunch of fire gems, so we could probably get him to start casting Falling Fires like so. And that should be fine, he can just do that. As for Earthsnake, he's going to have a few of these Earth Gems. We could send him in to start casting some Earthquake. So Earthquake, it does a lot of damage. It is reduced by protection. So it could be a good idea to do that just to wipe out a few of their smaller troops. Yeah, I think we will. The only issue is that it is armor piercing, so our protection isn't as good. It shouldn't kill our guys, but it probably will wipe out if they have any Marcata. So yeah, we'll probably get him to cast Earthquake, so he's got some Earth Power, he's personal Iron Skin. We'll maybe throw out some Soldiers of Steel first, and then we'll cast Earthquake. We won't tell him to be conservative with his magical gem usage either. We just want to make sure that he has enough for Earthquake. He shouldn't really need them to reduce fatigue anyway. He's got fairly good reinvigoration that. So for Almeric, we're just going to get you to stay behind for now. As far as Alfred does, yep, so you've got your one. Thorismund, what's Thorismund going to do? So he's going to obviously summon Earth Power, and then I think he's just going to summon as many Earth Elementals as he can. Like so. We'll set him up a little bit closer to the front. He's got the reinvigoration, should be fine. With the earth elementals and these dudes here, I think we should be okay. With Gunthermund, we'll set him up towards the front as well. He'll be able to start casting Soldiers of Steel. I think we're actually going to get him to cast only Soldiers of Steel. Actually, he has a fire gem, so we might as well use the fire gems instead. We can get another guy to do that. So yeah, we'll do another Phoenix Power. We'll just get him to use our Falling Fire script. So we'll set him up here. And we'll save that. So he's just going to cast Summon Earth Power, Phoenix Power, and then a bunch of Falling Fires. We've got Clodomir here. He is going to do the same. Bunch of Falling Fires. We want to make sure that we're doing a lot of these, just try and get the guys on the walls, get the guys holding in the middle. He'll Derek, what are you going to do? You're going to Summon Earth Power. And that should be fine. And then we'll probably get you to... So you then become Earth 3, so then you can start casting some Earth Elementals. And then after that, we'll start you on some... Probably just some Magma Eruptions. We'll have the Earth Paths. So we'll have a bunch of Earth Elementals coming out. So we'll make sure Albert and Rodelaide and probably all of our Priestsmiths are casting Iron Blizzard rather than Iron Darts. So we have Arnulf here as well. So Arnulf is going to cast Summon Earth Power. He cannot cast Power of the Spheres. We should have potentially given him an Astral Gem. Well, never mind. So he'll cast Summon Earth Power, and then he will start casting Gifts from Heaven. Many as he can. He has the Earth Gems, so he can use them. And he's not on Conservative Magical Gem usage. Great. We will get these guys here to cast Iron Blizzard. We're holding. Get this guy to hold. We'll just get these guys to fire at the closest. These guys are undisciplined, so we'll just send them out. We have a very, very large force. We'll need to see how in-depth the enemy defenders are. But with the amount of Iron Blizzards that we've got coming out, I think we should be okay. They should hopefully be able to just wipe out anybody on the walls they need to. And with that, I think that's all of our current scripting done. We're going to have Grimald here as well, so we'll get him to do the same kind of thing where he'll summon Earth Power, and then he is also going to cast a whole bunch of Gifts from Heaven with his gems. Then he can go off script. As far as any other mages come, I don't think we're going to have anybody here by next turn. No, it doesn't look like it. So that's fine. And Celestis, what we'll do is we'll get him and Scipio to start heading down towards Summer Edge. And I believe that's it. So let's make sure that we've given out all of our quills. So Rodelaide, give you a quill. Take that hammer away from you in case somebody else wants it. We're going to get Gundrick to actually make a Sky Metal Matrix so that one person can become a Communion Master. And that should be very helpful. And then we'll get Rothari as one of our Priestsmiths to just start moving over to Felton Forest. And we do have Dirk. We haven't searched down here for Death Sites, so we'll get him out to do that. And with that, I think that's good for this turn. So we've done our actions, we've done our research, which we can see here. Getting Alteration 4 next turn, so we'll be able to actually cast some Maws of the Earth. We might start changing up some people's scripts, just so we can cast some Maws of the Earth. Hopefully clear out that front part of the castle in Bandar Log. We'll get that next turn. I don't think we'll get Alteration 5 the next turn. No, we won't. We don't quite have enough research, but look at that. 730 research points. We are currently turn 31. So we haven't even reached year 3 yet. We're absolutely flying through the research. We're doing really well. After we get Alteration 5, we're going for Enchantment 5, which is great. And then we'll have a little think about what we want to get after that. So with that, let's end the turn. We'll just make sure that we haven't got any useful magical items we could hand out. Nothing really. No. I think other than perhaps... No, he's not over here at a lab. So we'll not worry about it for just now. And we're quite happy with our troop movements down here. Yeah, I think we're all good. Right, we'll end the turn here. Okay, so with that, we've finished researching Alteration. We found no magical sites here. We didn't find any magical sites there. It doesn't look like we found any magical sites, which is a little bit of a shame. So there's a battle in Azamar. This is our Black Lord and a couple of his knights going out to attack the province defense, which is actually a bunch of heavy cavalry, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Yeah, there we go. So we surround this heavy cavalry, we completely dispatch them, and we killed those guys there. Yeah, this is a very easy fight for us. Not a single casualty, not even our heavy cavalry. That's very nice. So that is the last province of Bandar Log that they have other than the actual fortress itself. And we're attacking Abyssia within the Under Mountain. So, yep, here come our lines. They're coming forward. Casting a bunch of Iron Blizzards. There's a bunch of heat there. We are taking a little bit of casualties, but we should be fine. Yeah, we are. Perfect. So we lost 32 infantry of Ulm again. Bit of a shame, but it's going to happen. Might as well. At this point, losing troops isn't actually the worst, because it means that we're reducing our upkeep by quite a bit. We can then use that money to start investing a little bit more into mages. There we go. So we managed to kill those guys there. Fantastic. Again, we lost another 8 guys. That's fine. There was the battle in the fortress of Bandar Log, so let's have a little look at their defending forces. So they have a bunch of elephants, a couple of tiger riders. I don't see their god anywhere. We'll have to check the actual stats afterwards. They have a couple of mages here as well, so we're going to have to be careful of that. It's just gurus and yogis. So this is the downside of an imprisoned god. They might have an absolutely disgusting bless, but they can't use it because their god is imprisoned. Not good for them. So yeah, Throne of Night, we've got some misfortune, we've got a little bit of extra income, nice. We found a few nature gems, Summer Edge is being a bit of a shit, and we've reached the entrance of Bandar Log, and we are actually suffering from a little bit of supplies. So we need to get through sooner rather than later. Let's have a little check of Alteration 4. Let's see if we got anything good. So we do have Curse of Stones. Could be an interesting one in that it doesn't affect friendly troops, but it causes every one of the enemies to start getting fatigued. They actually start taking fatigue for just moving. Also, their encumbrance is increased. This could be good to just let our troops get through. Same with Abyssia. Abyssia has a lot of heavily armored troops. If we increase their encumbrance, they're going to just absolutely fatigue out very, very quickly. We'll get Alteration 5 next turn. In fact, we'll get Alteration and Enchantment level 4 next turn. Which will be very, very useful. These Earth Shatter Hammers will be really good against our flail guys so that they can stun potentially some of these Abyssians. They'll still set us on fire, but, you know, we can deal with that. So yeah, quite happy with the research there. We will actually get Earthsneck to cast that new, if we can. So that is Curse of Stones. It's going to be 3 Earth Gems. He will not then have enough to cast Earthquake, so we'll need to steal a gem off somebody else, which is fine. We'll steal 1 off Grimold. So yeah, so he's going to cast Summon Earth Power, Personal Iron Skin, Curse of Stones, Soldiers of Steel, and he's going to hit everybody with an Earthquake after we've buffed up the rest of our units. And with that, I think we're good. Enemy Dominion are down to 1. I think we're good to just storm the castle, and we'll just storm it with everybody. We might as well. These guys here, they're not going to get there in time, so we're going to actually get them to start moving down towards Summer Edge. Start making sure that we are searching. We're going to send everybody over to Summer Edge. We're going to just send the whole force, as many people as we can, down there. Fortunately, it looks like the Throne of Night has stopped making everything night. That's always good. We'll build a lab, we'll build a temple. We can start recruiting more mages out of here with all of our moolah that we just got, and we'll grab Almaric and we'll start sending him over to Summer Edge as well. Frithegern has managed to capture this territory here. I think he'll just keep going down and conquer the last of these independent areas. We might as well. We'll search here for some more sites. Same with over here. Our Necromancer is diseased, but that's fine. It kind of comes with the territory of Necromancy, doesn't it? So we'll send an iron over to the Oaklands. Still not finding that much in terms of magic sites. Admittedly, we don't have the best mages searching for it. Level 2, you would expect us to find a little bit more, but I think we've just been a little bit unlucky with our map generation, to be honest. We've searched the majority of our lands for sites, and we found a little bit. Our gem income isn't the best, but we've got a fair, decent assortment of gems. I mean, our nature gems are absolutely insane. I'm just going to have a quick check to see if there's anything else we can make. We're too low level for the Thistle Mace, which is a bit of a shame. Could start making some vine bows for our commanders just so they can do something. Overall, these guys, they're just a little bit too low. We could start making some boots of the messenger, actually. If we give both these guys a hammer, like so, and we tell them to just monthly forge, we're going to make Boots of the Messengers. So I should probably actually go over what they do. So Boots of the Messenger, what they do is they give Reinvigoration 3 for whoever wears it. So they regen 3 fatigue a turn. And they get +9 map move. So it's just better than our Boots of the Long Stride, other than it doesn't give you swiftness. So we'll get them to make that. It'll really help us moving our guys around. It'll really help some of our higher level mages as well. And we're going to grab these guys here. We're going to start sending them down. Let's start handing out a little bit more gems for us to take down south. So actually we'll probably take all of these fire gems actually now I think about it, and we'll also give some earth gems, and we'll give out a couple of astral gems as well. He might be able to cast some interesting spells with them. And we'll send these guys down into the caves below. Balthazar and Amarark, you guys can just get quills. And now we have the interesting thought of, do we want to start... Ah, Henrik, lovely, another air one. These guys are good anyway, even if you can't really use them for site searching, just because they give slightly more research points than your sort of base Mastersmiths. So you really can't complain. What we could do as well is we could give Clovis this new... the new Sky Metal Matrix to make him a Communion Master, and if we grab... Yeah, let's just grab a couple of guys. We'll grab these guys here, we'll give away their quills. Like so. So we're taking away their quills, they're going to come down with us, so that's 4 of them. So if I hand out all 4 of the slave matrices we have made, then that's us made our own small communion for Clovis to use. So these guys are, you can see here, they're all communion slaves. So they are now taking the fatigue from the caster. So one thing we can do as well to make sure that they're okay, I don't think we can give it to all of them unfortunately, is we'll give them all a Girdle of Might. We need to probably make a few more of those. We'll give Ruptrick another one of these Helmets of the Heroes, and we'll get them all to start moving down there. So in battle, these guys with the slave matrices, they will do nothing. They're just going to sit there, take fatigue, they can't cast spells, they can't do anything. Clovis, in the meanwhile, is going to be the guy who is going to be a part of this communion. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to get him to summon Earth Power. We'll probably set these guys... We'll give these guys a script just in case for whatever reason the communion stops. They shouldn't come out of the communion, but just in case they do, we'll do that. We'll grab the rest of these guys here and we'll also set them up with Ruptrick. In the big line formation, these guys can hold rear and then attack. So what Clovis will do, Clovis will summon Earth Power. The interesting thing about communions is anything that affects the caster will also affect, or sorry, the Communion Master will also affect all of the Communion slaves. So by casting Summoning Earth Power, he's giving not only himself, but all the slaves in the Communion, +1 Earth Magic, and +4 Reinvigoration. Fantastic. Amazing. That's really what we want. It will make sure that our slaves don't get as fatigued. Now, we will cast Power of the Spheres. So this will make him and all the slaves +1 for all paths except for Blood and Holy. The issue that we have is it's 100 fatigue cost, long cast time. Communions do also make your, well, at least astral communions make your spells take slightly longer. Blood Sabbaths now make it so you take a little bit more fatigue, I believe. I'll double check that. I'd probably put that in the video that I do about communions. A few things have changed from Dominion 5, but they're mostly the same. So yeah, Power of the Spheres, 100 fatigue cost, requires 1 Astral Pearl. He's only Astral 1, but he'll use another Pearl to bring that fatigue cost down to 50, because it'll be half, because he'll be 1 additional, and then he'll suddenly be Astral 2. Our slaves will take additional fatigue. I think they will take the full fatigue, potentially even more. So they might take 100 fatigue from this, which wouldn't be the best, but it means that their Earth, they will get the rest of their pass put up, which I think is worth it. From there, we have a little bit of a thought about what we're going to do. We're not going to have Astral Fires. We could just start casting a bunch of Magma Eruptions. We'll probably be Earth Magic level... So he'll be level 2. In fact, can we give him... Sorry, I know I'm being a little bit all over the place. Yeah, let's give him some Earth Boots. So he's now going to be Earth level 3. Huge. Great caster. He's going to be Earth level 3. So his magical path is going to be bumped up from being in Communion. And then he's going to be casting Summon Earth Power. And he's also been casting Power of the Spheres. He's going to become a really powerful Earth Mage, so we can use him to cast some interesting spells. So let's get him to start casting... where is it? Earth Magic. Curse of Stones. So we'll get him to cast Curse of Stones after this. High fatigue cost. 300 fatigue, but he will be a much better earth caster, and he'll be dissipating some of that fatigue around amongst his slaves. So hopefully the slaves will survive. You can kill your slaves if they go... when you're at 100 fatigue, you'll fall unconscious. If you're at 200 fatigue, get more fatigue, it gets immediately transferred into HP damage, which isn't great. What we could potentially do if we had another one of our Communion Master stones to give to somebody is we could have given it to one of our druids. He would then give nature magic in. He could then cast a small personal regeneration, affect all the slaves, so at least they'll start regenning their HP if they start taking damage. As it stands, I think we'll be fine with this. And we will also start casting... We'll get him to cast Magma Eruptions. And hopefully everybody will be okay. I haven't run many Communions in Dominion 6, it must be said. Especially not as Ulm. I'm kind of a little bit rusty when it comes to Ulmish Communions. Can be done. Very effective though. Definitely recommend it. We have to be a little bit careful here that we might get attacked in the Sanguine Swamp. So let's bump up the defense there. Fortunately, we have a whole bunch of guys over here. Gunderic, yeah, we'll actually get you to make another one of these sky metal things. And we will actually just get 2 more druids. We're going to start sending one of them down so he can cast personal regeneration for all of our Communion slaves. I don't think we have any more astral randoms who are just sitting about, unfortunately no. So we'll make another one of those, we'll make another one of those master ones, and we'll start making more slave ones so we can just give them out. As far as our conquest down here has gone, it's gone pretty well, so there is some large Athamat dragons here. Donner, what can you cast in terms of fire resistance? So we have Lesser Flame Ward, a small area of effect, but it could be fairly useful. Or at least more useful than just like letting our guys die. Yeah, our enchantment levels are quite low. We could use fire to get cold resistance, but that was not really any point. Yeah, we're going to get you to start casting some Lesser Flame Wards as much as you can, just so we can try and help our troops out where we can. Everybody else is a little bit too low level, unfortunately. But we've got our guys casting Iron Blizzard, we've got a little bit of buffing coming out of Wittelic, and we have a decent number of troops. We'll actually get all of our infantry into a line here. And these guys will march into the womb, like so. We'll take Cake along as well. We might as well. He'll just cast some spells. And we'll make sure that we are in a line formation and that we're set up so that we're covering our Mage Corps. Yep, I think we should be fine to just keep marching forward. We'll do the same with Gunderic. We're very much overcommitting here, it's got to be said. Abyssia has had a really rough game of it. You can see the fact they've only had, like, I don't know, maybe 8 provinces the whole game. They're not really going to be a threat. We're going to start marching through. We'll have a little bit of combat with them so we can get an idea of attacking them, sieges, what we can do against fire and such like that. But if they prove to be a fairly easy threat, then we'll probably just take that throne and end the tutorial series there. But we'll see how we do. Anyway, let's get another Girdle of Might from Balthazar. Other than that, Adelaide, you're just going to have to sit there, I'm afraid. Everybody else is going to be marching through. We'll get them over into the Mudwater Caves, because at least here, they'll be protected from people moving in, unless there's any magic move shenanigans. Yeah, we have some troops with them, so they should be fine. Ethel will give you a quill. We'll tell you to get researching. These guys are nearly at the Cavern Realms, which is fantastic. And then, other than that, we'll hand over another quill to this guy here. And that should be us good to go. We'll actually give Clovis as well a fire in a jar, just in case we can hand it out to somebody else, should we want to. And with that, so that's all of our actions are done, our recruitment's done, we don't have very much money left. We've got our research going. We're storming the castle here. Let's just have a little check of our formations, just to make sure that we're happy with it. Yes, we're going to have a bunch of our undisciplined guys, we're going to have a bunch of cavalry here. Probably going to set up our infantry just like that, yeah, that should be fine. Crushers in the front. Got a couple of them back on the shows. Slingers we'll put right at the back. I got some more crossbowmen. We'll just spread these guys out and we'll just get them to fire. Like so. Got some infantry here. We'll get them to hold and attack the closest. More crossbowmen. More crossbowmen. A lot of crossbowmen is what we can see we have. And archers. We should be absolutely fine for taking this castle. I don't foresee it being an issue at all. We'll maybe lose some of our independent troops from, and potentially our Holbergs as well, actually, when casting Earthquake, but you gotta break some eggs to make an omelette sometime. And with that, let's go. Climactic battle against Bandar Log. Wow, you can actually see that it's a big battle. It's taking a long time even for my computer to process. So with that, we finished Alteration, we finished Enchantment, we found a magical site in Rid. Stone Circle, nice. Didn't find anything else. Bit of a shame, but what are you going to do? So there was a battle in the Great Mountains, which was us attacking some independents. There was a battle in the Mudwater Caves, funnily enough. So let's have a little look at that. We'll not bother watching the independent one. We know we've won. So we've got a couple of Abyssian infantry facing off against our reasonably small force, but we do have a bunch of magma eruptions, a whole bunch of our troops coming out, and that was absolutely fine. Yeah, we managed to kill a couple of human breeds, we killed a bunch of Abyssian infantries, we had a lot of magic support there. Magic support is really how you win in the mid game. Your troops are really good early because you need them and you don't have the mages to kind of support them. Once you start getting past the first year, you really want to start sending mages out with your forces. Massive force multiplier. Honestly, really good. And then we're attacking in here with our other infantry. It looks like just a bit of province defense. This shouldn't be an issue at all. We've got our soldiers of steel out. And we've got our iron blizzards coming out, hitting the guys. They do have shields, so they'll be a little bit less effective against them. But as you can see, we just absolutely crushed them. Absolutely fine. We lost 2 infantry, that's fine. And here we are, the big climactic battle in our war against Bandar Log. Let's have a little look. So it doesn't look like their god is awoken. Sucks to be them. You can see here the crushers are moving forward. They should hopefully be able to punch through this Bandar Log. Look at how many archers there are. We have a massive force here. Huge flaming fires hitting right on here. I'm very sad that I missed that, but that's excellent. Oh, look at them go. Now that we don't have to throw a knight, their precision is so much better. Like Curse of Stones going off. Absolutely crushing them with our falling fires here. Especially in this choke point. Oh, perfect. Beautiful. That one missed. That one quite as nice, but a little bit of friendly fire there. Let's ignore that. That wasn't too great. A little bit more friendly fire. But that's okay. That's what our troops are here for. They're here to push their way through. The crushers taking a little bit of damage, but they should be absolutely fine. We'll be able to use them against Abyssia if we need to. And with that, the armies of Bandar Log are routed. We've done particularly well. Let's have a little look at Earthsneck. Where is he? Let me select him. So it doesn't look like he's actually cast Earthquake. He's probably too high fatigue for it. You can look at gems. There we go. With that, Bandar Log has been defeated. Let's have a little look at the casualties. So it looks like we did lose one of our Master Smiths. That's a bit of a shame. One of our mages bravely died. Probably died to some random arrow that hit him. Bit of a shame. We lost a couple of Black Knights, but that's absolutely fine. And other than that, we lost a bunch of independent forces against what, in the end, was a very small Bandar Log force, but we got some beautiful falling fires there. I was very happy with them. And obviously bringing 700 troops is quite a lot, especially to battle with this. But with that, we have destroyed our first pretender of our game. Let's go through our messages. So we got something unexpected in the pit. We got some fire gems and astral gems. Fantastic. And we got some more death gems. We've started to destroy the fort in the glowing caverns against Abyssia. And we've permanently vanquished Deathstink, the god of Bandar Log. He has nowhere to return. So that's the message that will display if you end up with absolutely no provinces. If you have no provinces, you are completely wiped out. That's just your nation done. Similarly, if you have no dominion, then your nation is snuffed out, and anywhere you did hold is taken over by independents who use the forces that were there. Fantastic. Overall, excellent turn. We've done really well. We've taken over Bandar Log. We've got the Lotus Gardens, giving us a bunch of astral gems and more nature gems than we know what to do with. We pretty much have the same nature and gem income as we do earth gems, which is a little bit insane given how much earth searching we've done. But never mind. With that, we have finished our campaign against Bandar Log, and now it's time to bring our sights over to Abyssia. Abyssia, who doesn't seem like there'd be much of a challenge. what I kind of want to ask everybody just now is, obviously, tutorial, we're kind of running through sort of like towards the end. We might extend it a little bit. We'll need to spend some time getting people down towards the Endless Caverns anyway to move our forces. When we get there, we can just take the throne. We take that throne, we win the game. That's it. We've got all 3 ascension points. That's the end of it. What I might do though is I might try and do a little bit of communion stuff now that we've got a couple of our guys ready. We'll be able to come in and start doing some communion shenanigans. We'll maybe try and get them over towards Abyssia just to do that. And then once that happens, we'll probably call the tutorial there. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's certainly been quite climactic in terms of battles. On the next one, we'll have to move around a bunch of our forces. It'll be mostly that. But it's a good way of sort of seeing how you transition from one war to another. So yeah, with that, I think we'll call the episode to a close. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you did, please let me know in the comments, potentially what kind of tutorial or nation overview you'd like to see next, given that this one is starting to run to a close. And until the next time, take care.